What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the By the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host, as always. My name is Jimmy. And as we start off every show, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to everyone for all the support we get, specifically the students of By the Hood University, which is still growing. And I know I say that on every episode, but we literally grow on a daily basis. So shout out to everybody over there for building an amazing community of people that are willing to help each other grow and build wealth. So I got my partner in Crown, Corey, with me. Corey, what's up, good brother? Hey, man, you muted, good brother. Yeah, Corey sounds like he's having technical difficulties. We can't hear him at all. But
Can you hear me now?
now we can.
No, I was saying every day above the ground is a good day. It makes it, living is good, man. You know how hard it is to live out here. So I'm living. So I'm good.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, especially when you in Philly, bro. Philly crazy right now, man. But with that being said, man, listen, our platform is designed to highlight brothers and sisters who are doing amazing work, building businesses and helping the community. This brother we have on now, man, is doing phenomenal work in the real estate space, man. He's a must follow on IG. His before and after pics, bro, are straight motivation. Without further ado, man, I want to bring my brother Justin on. Justin, what's up, good brother?
What's up, Jim?
Man, how you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Corey, what's going on?
What's going on, Josh?
Hey, listen, man. Listen, man. Like I said, man, you're before and afters, man. You gotta, I think you found your little niche with that, man. Especially, I see you over there on TikTok too, doing
But I was struggling with that TikTok. I was struggling. Had a phone. My niece saying, "Give me a hand."
Yeah, but what you bring into the timeline is needed though. Those before and afters are amazing, man. There's some amazing work you're doing out there, man. So, first of all, congratulations because your skills as a contractor, man, are phenomenal, man. I mean, I'm even looking at the recess lights behind you as we talk, man. Like, you get busy, bro.
Yeah, it's teamwork. It ain't me. It's about having a good team and forming a good team. I've been with my core group of guys since really 2014. So
okay. Oh yeah, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about your background though. Like, so where are you originally from, and then how was your upbringing?
Yeah, definitely, man. So my background, humble beginnings. Born and raised from Norristown, PA, which is probably about like 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia. My upbringing, again, middle class, lower middle class family. Basically, followed what society taught me. Go to school, get those good grades, and you're going to live a good life is what I was taught, right? So I followed what I was always taught. I was really the first to graduate in my immediate family from college. So I thought I made it, right?
Mm-hmm.
My reality was though, Jim, when I graduated, right, I didn't land a job for the first 9 months.
Wow.
So I had to move back into the third floor of my mom's house, and I bust my butt. I started off going to community college to save money because I was always aware of the rising costs and the cost of college, right? So I still, even though I graduated with probably about $35,000 in student loans, it wasn't as much as some of my, I knew, right? Because I went to community college. So fast forward, graduated, didn't land a job for 9 months. I was working literally odd jobs, man. Those first 9 months, like door-to-door sales, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was the guy bang on your door, right? Bang on your door and try to, I think it was a company, AT&T, but it wasn't the AT&T company. It was like one of these other telecom companies, right? Where you had to try to switch lines from Verizon Wireless to AT&T or vice versa, right? Yeah. So I was one of those guys working 10, 12-hour days, door to door, be at the team meetings at 7, don't get home till 7, right?
That's crazy. Yeah, well, at least you didn't sell the knives like back in my day. Like a lot of us had to sell the cutware like door to door. But
I think it was,
you know about that, right?
Yeah, bro, I did it all.
All right, listen. So here's a question I have for you, right? A couple things based upon that. So you said you went to community. Did you go to another school after community?
Yeah, then I went to community college for 2 years. Montgomery County, Monaco is called Montgomery County College, in Norristown, Montgomery County. And then from there, I went to IUP, Indiana State University. It was a state school. Yeah. So the tuition, I would love to go out of state, but man, when I started seeing those prices, I was like, man, I need to keep my butt.
What was your major?
Psychology, and I minored in business.
Okay, psychology, and you minored in business. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, right? And what you learned in school, how has it helped you in what you're doing now?
It didn't help me at all. If I'm being honest, man. And if I'm really being honest, man, they it actually got me further in a hole, because at the school they used to have like credit card companies. They used to have tables. Hey, you can get the Visa card or the MasterCard. So I'm thinking, I didn't know no better credit, so I'm getting credit cards. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I wasn't educated on properly how to use credit, right? So you being a 20-year-old kid, 21-year-old kid getting credit card, you charging, and I'm making minimum payments. I'm thinking I'm doing good, and meanwhile that debt is just increasing, right? So so you got that credit card debt that I'm accumulating in college, along with student loans. That really put me farther in a deeper hole. But I am thankful for the relationships, friends I met, things of that nature. I still have some of those friendships, so that was important. But
it's interesting, man. A couple things, right? So I know, like when I went to Lincoln State, I went to Lincoln University, and they would pull the tables out with the credit cards, man.
It's a part of it, by the way.
Yeah.
So LU.
LU, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I used to visit there, Cheney, Lincoln. There.
So they used to put the table out, and I remember Discover giving me a $10K credit card. I didn't have a job at first, so they gave me 10 grand, and I was swiping away, like, you know what I'm saying? I was fly as hell for homecoming, all on Discover. But I wonder, do they still do that? I don't know if they still do that, because in retrospect, now looking back at it, that's mad predatory, right? Like, most of us up here ain't got no job, and y'all just putting these like tables out here and just giving us 10, 25 grand. Yeah. Like, I wonder if they do you guys know whether they still do that or not?
I don't have any idea.
Because it wasn't just Lincoln. Like, think about it. They're doing this at colleges all across the country. That's kind of foul.
Yeah. It's a big market, though, right? It is predatory lending, if you think about it. Absolutely.
Yeah. But the thing about IUP, which is interesting, man, I met a lot of people in real estate from IUP. What is it about IUP?
Yeah, man. Being up in that mountain must give y'all something like special. Like, it must be something in the air up there.
Yeah, because it's a lot of y'all in the game. Like, what is it about IUP?
Honestly, man, I don't know. I think it's just coincidence, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really just coincidence. I first got exposed to real estate really through my mentor, right?
Okay.
So when I graduated, I was always had entrepreneur spirit, that mentality. Like, I knew early on, Jen, that I recognized early on that I wasn't going to get the level of income that I knew I could obtain by working for somebody else, right?
Okay.
And entrepreneurship is not for everyone. I tell people that all the time. But for me, I felt like I had no other option, right? So, the most I ever made on jobs was like $70,000 a year, right? So I know it was a cap, and I used to look to my left and look to my right of my colleagues, and people were miserable. They weren't happy, right? But a lot of people that I found, they work these jobs, they work these professions because of money, right? They work and stay at jobs that they hate and despise because of money, right? So I got and I think back in my past, right, how I got really exposed to entrepreneurship. It was something called prepaid legal, right?
The multi-level marketing company.
MLM, they call it, multi-level marketing companies, right? So I used to go to those conferences, and although I made a little bit of money, I wasn't at the top or anything like that. But what it did, it started to shift my mind, right? It started to expose me to other like-minded entrepreneur professionals, right? So I started seeing how, hey, you can make money on your own without working a 9-to-5. So that was my first exposure. That was my first exposure. Then they, introduced me to self-development books, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, other books like that. And that just started to change my mind, man. And then from that, and once your mind is expanded, you can't go back.
This is true. And the funny thing is, though, I tell people that MLMs are like the greatest business school, right? So I have a business degree and I have a master's degree too, but I've learned more, like, and I've done the MLM thing, but you're right. Once you get into that environment and they start giving you the information and, like, some of the self-help books, and you start to read them and your mindset shifts. Also, one of the great things about MLMs is it helps you in terms of presentation, right? Being able to talk in front of an audience.
Public speaking, absolutely.
Listen, so it's like one of the greatest business schools. Even if you don't like, and again, some of them aren't really selling products. We know what the game is.
Yeah.
But what you can learn from going through one of them, it's like one of the greatest business schools there is multi-level marketing companies, believe it or not. That's my opinion, at least.
I agree, man. And it doesn't cost you. Guess what? It doesn't cost you all
it won't cost you $100 grand with college will.
It don't cost you right.
This is absolutely true, man. So you have a mentor that introduced you to real estate. How did you meet that mentor, and what was it? What did they actually, what kind of game did they give you to get you started?
Yeah, man. So I knew him basically my whole life, right? But when my back was against the wall, I had a prior business, like an online ordering business, and similar to like a Groupon, prior to getting into real estate. And that business, when I got fired from my job, I had started that business, right? But then that business went basically belly up in 2 years, right? So, I'm desperate at that point. I done lost like 50 grand. And I'm like, man, I already got the taste of freedom, not working a 9 to 5. So this is around 2013. So I knew this gentleman by the name of Mr. Ron. I knew this gentleman because I knew he did real estate. I didn't know how involved he was, right? Because I was friends with his daughter. I was friends with his daughter, right? So I reached out to him and I said, hey, I know you do real estate. Can you help me find a property? He didn't know I was dead broke, right? He didn't know I just lost a bag of money on this other business, right?
Yeah.
So, and he was like, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. And Jim, my personality is like black and white with me. Either I'm going to do something or I'm not.
Yeah.
You don't got to convince me. Like, either I'm going to do something or I'm not, right? I'm very decisive, right? And I'm not scared to try, I'm not scared of failure. Like, and I'm already down right now. I'm like on my last dub at this point, Jim, right? So I called him. We go to West Philly. So he started exposing me to properties, man, like, 20,000 property here. This is back in 2013. So properties in West Philly, you getting for a dub and So basically looked at 3 different properties. He really started me off now, knowing I know now, with a cosmetic rehab. It was an easy rehab. Nothing like I do now, right? So this was really easy. I don't think I really gutted the bathroom out or the kitchen. It was an easy rehab. So I got this joint for 22 grand, right? But I didn't have enough money to both buy the property and fix it up. So I called up another buddy of mine from my local area by the name of Earl, and we basically went 50-50 on this property. He put up 22, I put up 22. Long story short, we ended up selling this property for $93,500. It was on Angora Terrace in Southwest Philadelphia. Okay. So from that point on, it's been game on, man. I quickly transitioned into building my rental portfolio early on since 2014. Okay. And just been rocking and rolling, man.
Okay, so which one do you like better, if any, flipping or the buy and hold game?
I'm a buy and holder, man. I'm a buy and holder, and I'll tell you why. How the light bulb went off for me very early on in my real estate career. Right. First thing is, when I was starting off in real estate, again, I'm dead broke. I used to do Airbnb, so I would literally rent out my property, like legit rent out my property. My whole entire home, and I would either stay with friends or stay in my bandos. I had a sleeping bag. I was, sleeping my abandoned property sometimes for the weekends. Because a lot of times my Airbnb, it was popping over the weekends, that Friday, Sunday. So if I wasn't staying with a friend or, someone I was dating, right, I would just sleep in my abandoned property. So I did that for Airbnb, and that really saved me. Because I was making anywhere from $1,000, $1,200 consistently, and my mortgage is only like $800. Between tax and insurance, only $800.
Hold on. Let's back up real quick. Hold on. So this is amazing. I'm sitting listening to you. So you would take your own property on the weekend and go stay with your girl, whoever it may be, and then they're running out for Airbnb to make some money on the course of the month.
Absolutely.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Willing to sacrifice. You said sometimes you would sleep in your abandoned properties. Grab your Absolutely. That's amazing, man. That's that sacrifice,
man.
bro.
Yeah, you a boss.
Yeah. when I think back now, man, I was, you know, I didn't have a family. You know, I was dating. I didn't have a child or anything like that.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
what did I lose? I didn't have anything to lose. I was flexible. I was mobile, right?
Hey, listen, man, I love it though. That's like, you know, you had that hunger. You were trying to get to it. That sounds like Doug. I know you probably heard Doug story when Doug say, "Look,
Doug was even more extreme, man. His John,
yeah,
he went in the garage nonstop for a year.
yeah. Doug took it to the next
I was
level.
on a weekend here and there.
Yeah. But you took it kind of there, but Doug took it to the next level. But yeah, that's amazing story, man. Like, so you know, you said you got into the buy and hold. You realized early on that buy and hold is the move because you started with the Airbnb, but then like, you know, how'd you get to the point where you said, okay, now instead of just flipping everything, let me get some rental. Like, what was it that made that shift outside of the Airbnb?
Yeah. So my mentor, he his job was like a nurse, like a traveling nurse or whatever. So he had lost his job for whatever reason, right? So one day he pulls up with a drop top Jaguar, you know, nice John, you know, top Jaguar. So I was like, man, like most people, you lose a good, you know, $100,000 job, you're gonna scale back your expenses.
Yeah.
Right? But he taught me early on that, yo, my lifestyle was not based off of my job, right? It was based off of my rental income, my cash flow producing assets. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, so you mean to tell me, because flipping is sexy, right? Flipping, everybody, it's, you know, you see those shoes flipping. But for someone to lose that type of job and still not miss a beat because his lifestyle was based off his cash flow producing properties, the light bulb went off immediately. So I thought to myself, hey, I'm getting this amount of money from Airbnb. Imagine doing that times 30, times 40.
Yeah, there you go. So do you still use Airbnb as part of your strategy with your portfolio?
I have probably only about 2 Airbnbs at this point right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but Airbnb is good. You know, we had, and I say we because my main partner now is my wife, right? She has been great. We work together. She's on board, and you know, she helps to build this thing as well, right? So we did have one Airbnb, our condo unit, before the pandemic hit. We were rocking, we were making money on that thing. Then the pandemic hit, so we got basically a long-term tenant in that right now. And then I have another. I have an Airbnb, one of my mixed-use properties, that one unit a regular tenant, another unit is an Airbnb. So I think I only have actually one Airbnb out there now.
Okay, a couple questions based on that. Do you self-manage all your stuff?
I self-manage everything. I'm cheap, Jim. I ain't gonna lie, Jim. I might have, brother, 40 hours a year worth of issues. So
that's amazing. Think about it. 40-hour, you know, people have these 40-hour weeks. You got 40 hours a year
worth of issues. Real rap, man. So when people say, you know, they don't like the headaches of, they think gonna be a problem, I'm like, man, I tell them all the time I have 40 hours a year. But what I've noticed is if you do a good job up front, you shouldn't have issues.
And that's what I was going to ask you. I know a lot of yours are like, you know, at this point where you're at now. And for the folks that are listening or watching, make sure you go check them out on IG and you'll see what I'm talking about. You're doing complete rehabs. So does that help you in terms of low maintenance because you're pretty much building everything from scratch? Does that help you in terms of the maintenance because you're not, you know?
Absolutely. Like what I've learned when I first started, I used to try to take a lot of shortcuts, right? And then you get in callbacks that I know I should have did something like, I know I should replace that water heater that had that rust at the bottom, but I didn't, right? I knew I should have replaced that wobbly toilet, but I didn't, right? So now a lot of times is I just like to go new of everything damn near. Like, yeah, so I go new and it saves a lot of callbacks. One, it's going to provide a better quality product for the person who's going to, or family is going to be living at that property. And it's just a better look, right? You get known as a person that provides good quality housing to people, and it's just easy to rent. Like when I list the property to rent, it's typically gone that first week.
Yeah.
Like it's like no brainer.
Yeah, we just talking about that before we came on. Like renting is like, you know, I put something on the rental market on Saturday, and by Sunday I had like 16 people trying to move in. Like, so, you know, but Something else I want to ask you based upon what you said. You talk about your wife and her partnering with you. How important is it to have a spouse or a significant other that's like on board and understands the vision?
Yeah, I think it's crucial, man. To be like-minded, equally yoked. I think it helps to grow a lot faster. It's less stress. Yeah, it's just less stress. It's just two people on the same page. Because I think if I was married to the wrong person and they didn't buy in to what I knew was a huge vehicle to building wealth, right? I tell people all the time, like, and my wife, she does her thing. Like, she has a great career. You know, she makes a makes a good amount of money in her profession alone, right? But I say that you're blessed to have those jobs, right? But you can't pass down that job to your loved one. We can't pass down that job to our child, right?
Yep.
But these rental properties,
Yep.
and that's the game, man. So once you change your mind, and I remember flying back from our honeymoon. I call this punishing myself, right? I said, because I felt myself getting comfortable, right? I was taking a portion of my rent roll to live on, right?
Okay.
And I was like, coming back from my honeymoon, I was like, listen, I ain't going to take no more money from our rental income. And she was like, well, how are you going to work? Like, I mean, how you gonna make money? Like, I was paying myself, a few, $3-4 grand for my rent roll. And I was like, I just gotta hustle. I was like, I'm getting complacent, I'm getting lazy. So bro, she was worried. The first 3 months was rough. I was doing notary, doing Uber, not Uber. What was the place?
Lyft?
Not Lyft. It was Uber. I was doing Uber. It was Uber. I was doing a notary. I was still a realtor. So I was hustling. And it's funny that what you put into the universe, things can just start happening. My construction business started to pick up. And to this day, I have not touched any of our rental income. We don't touch any of our rental income. Our rental income, we literally are able to survive off of 50% of our rental income, pays all of our bills. She still works, I still work. And that's how we base our lifestyle. That's how we base our lifestyle off of half of our rental income.
Now, it's funny, right? Because I know I'm wired different, because like a lot of us will be on social media and people get excited when you see the folks like, with the stars in the ceilings and all the fancy stuff. Mm-hmm. I get inspired when I see like, you guys who self-proclaimed cheap guys, like who I know who I know are getting to the bag, but you guys like brag about like, yo, I'm cheap. Like you just said, like, yo, I'm cheap. Like you, Malik, Doug, y'all be talking about like, yo, I'm not gonna spend money on this. I'm gonna go spend money on this asset. Like that's the kind of stuff that inspires me is, you talk about making these sacrifices, but what you're doing is you're building an empire by making those sacrifices.
Yeah. Brother, I ain't gonna hold you though. It takes discipline, man. It takes discipline, man. Like, yeah, it takes discipline, man. Like Malik got me beat. I still like to get fresh, and he got me beat. I still, I spend a little bit, and I like to get fresh. We like to vacation, and like that. We're spending a bag on that.
I think that's important though. Experiences are things that
Yeah.
But that's why there's nothing wrong with spending money. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I think it's how you do it. Spending money on vacations with your family. That to me, that's like the most amazing thing, because those experiences you can't really put a price tag on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I think that's dope though. I think you got, like you said, discipline is the key to all this. Like discipline is the key to all of this. Mm-hmm. But you seem to be focused and got it together. Let me ask you this question though. Along this journey, starting out, going to school, being taught that everything works one way, to figuring out how true wealth is built, what has been the biggest hurdle for you, personally, to get you to the point where now you're so focused on building this business?
The biggest hurdle, I would say one of the biggest hurdles is scalability in terms of my construction company, right? Okay. So, and really finding more help, right? Sometimes I do have my core group of guys, but I would love to try to scale up more, take on more projects and things like that. So finding good help, I think, is the most challenging part about real estate, honestly. Your team, your people that are going to your carpenters, or basically your trades, right? Mm-hmm. That is, because think about when you build a house, you can't build a whole house yourself, it'll take you a year, right? Right. So right now I can probably get through 3 to 4 projects in 10 weeks with my crew, right?
Wow.
If I had even more people, I could maybe increase that to 7 to 8 projects, right?
When you say a project, you talk about from top to bottom. Like if you did a full rehab.
Yeah, top to bottom, we can get through about good 3 to 4 rehabs in 10 weeks.
That's nice.
Oh man, y'all getting it in.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. But yeah, man, I mean, that's the hardest part, man, because when you think about it's a people business, right? And you're still at the mercy of other people to show up. Like I'm going to show up 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Right? But to get to that next level where you're taking on,
managing people, basically, it's like the difficult part.
That's the most difficult part, and it's been like that, man. It's probably like that with a lot of people, and that's why I think a lot of new investors, they make the mistake. They get attracted by maybe a low number, a low estimate, and they get burnt, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, though, because like I said, like being in the business, people speak highly of your work, in the work that you do in terms of your construction piece. How did you go from like just being an investor? And I know once you were a real estate agent, I'm not sure if you still have you still active.
I am, but I don't really sell too many houses.
Yeah. Okay. So you sound like me. Like I have a license, but I only use it for my own stuff. But with that being said, how did you make the transition to the construction side? Like, were you always good with your hands coming up, or like what made you make this transition?
I'll tell you why. So that first project, that was a cosmetic rehab. That no one I know now probably took 3 weeks. It took that guy about 3 months plus. Made me want to transition to form my own company, because I've learned that it's about managing people. So when I used to show up to the job site, the GC, they weren't really getting their hands dirty, right? They're just managing the people. So you're only going to go as far as your team. So I knew right away, like I can do that. So one, you're going to save money, and I think I'm going to be able to do a more efficient job, right? And just do better work. So that made me get into that business very early on.
Okay.
I thought I could just do it better, frankly.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Save you some money, and you think you could do a better job of it. Okay.
Better job.
So how long did it take you to put together a core team that you run with? Because I know that sounds like a difficult part, but you sound like you have your core group together. How long was it, that process, to get them together?
Yeah, so that I built my team from referrals. Like first, I think guy I met might have been a drywaller that I found. I forget what I found. Oh, I popped up on a job site and I saw him doing work, and that's a great way to find good workers, right? You see them grinding. I think he was grinding at like 7 o'clock at night doing drywall, with a little light on. So I popped in, knock, got his number, gave him a shot. I liked his work, and good workers know other good workers. So he referred me, and that's how it worked.
Nice. That's dope, man. Because now you're talking about getting through. Man, I know people. It takes 10 weeks to get through one project. You said you get through multiple projects. So that's man. So you're scaling up now.
It's just a system, man. Like it's really easy once you get the system. Because multiple people can't be doing the same thing at a job. So you might start demoing a roof, and then another house you don't start it framing. Then another house you could be at the drywall phase. As long as you stagger them, you're fine. Yeah.
Got you. So okay. Cool. So let me ask you this though. So now you have your rental portfolio, you have your construction business, and you're seemingly getting your systems and things together. What's the next step? What's the future hold? What are you looking to do in the future for your business?
Yeah, man. My next step is really, I have a platform called the David J Academy, where I am mentoring other people to expose them to this life-changing information, right? So my goal is try to do it at a efficient, affordable price point where average day people that look like me and you, right, can get this, consume this information, apply this information, and help change not only their life but their family's life, right? So, I do, free webinars. I try to do it weekly or bi-weekly. People can register for that at whatcollegenevertaughtme.com. So I'm really trying to expose as many people as possible, man. My goal is to try to expose at least 10,000 people over the next, couple of years to this information. So I give out free game, and if they want to take it a step farther, obviously they can join the academy, work with me, and get into my network and change their life, change the situation.
Nice.
So that's my next thing, and I get great satisfaction about that. A couple of my students have. It's one guy made over $30,000. So
so you got the actual receipts, man. And what I like about it too is, you'll recognize, it's like what I call the clubhouse effect. You have a lot of folks out here who are teaching it but not doing it, but you have actual receipts, and people could pull up on your projects and see that you're putting the work in. So I think that's amazing to learn from the foot of someone who's in the business on a daily basis, really working this business. So we're going to put the links to all of that within the description, as well as the show notes. And I'm going to make a special thing too for anybody that takes advantage of Justin's program. We'll actually give you access to our free university as well, just to be part of that community. If you take advantage of his program by clicking the link within the description of the show. Because we want to, again, our objective is to build as many
collaborate
and build as many Black entrepreneurs as possible, as well as business owners. Because again, like you said, it's not necessarily about everybody being an entrepreneur. We do need entrepreneurs. Don't get me wrong. In our community, we need entrepreneurs, but we need owners, right? And what I mean by that is, even if you love your job, because some people actually love their job. And the funny thing is, some of the biggest real estate investors I know have jobs, right? Because they love what they do, but they also get the idea that I can't just rely on this job. So if I ever lost, it's almost different. Like I had someone tell me, like, it's different going to work when I don't have to be here.
Your swagger totally different, baby.
Listen, it feels totally different. You don't have to, when you don't have to be somewhere, you don't feel rushed. You don't feel that overwhelming stress that if you lose your job, then you're going to lose your livelihood and all of the things that you hold dear, right? It makes work feel a whole different way. Like you're there because you want to be there. You're happy. You're actually better at doing your job because you don't have that stress hanging over your head. And
because that stress a lot of times is like, if I do this wrong, I might lose my job. Like that whole stress thing, but you don't have that. So, I mean, we want to make sure we help people, man. And I love what you're doing. I love what you're building, Just, man. So what you're doing is amazing. Last question I have for you is this, though. What is your favorite book or a book that's inspired you along your journey?
Yeah. So my latest favorite book is The Big Homie, Mud to Millions.
Eesh.
That's my new favorite read right now. So definitely folks need to check that out.
Absolutely, man.
By Aisha Selden. And I love her story. And a lot of ways how we're building our portfolio is honestly coming from Aisha, right? A lot of our portfolio, we don't have a lot of debt on our properties, right? It's probably 30. So 70% don't have any mortgages on them. 30% do, right? So that allows us to really cash flow a lot, right? So, and again, we just take the funds from our jobs, right? And allows us to really scale up and buy these properties like that.
Man, who knows where you'll be, bro? I'm a little older than you, but it took me years to learn that lesson. It took me years to learn that lesson. When I had my most doors and I had my most debt, and I had to scale back and pay some stuff off because carrying debt is, boy. Yeah, it's a piece of work.
I know if I was talking to my buddy about that. Like I know if I liquidated or refinance a lot, it could go crazy. I could maybe probably, but I'm fine. I like comfort, peace of mind. I'm fine. I really focus on the cash flow, and not the amount of doors or units. So I just focus on cash flow, man, and that's just
to me. I know everybody has their own perspective.
Yeah,
but to me, the way you're doing it is the smarter way, because you sleep well at night when you don't have all them people owing banks millions and millions of dollars now. So it's the right way. It's to me at least, right? So everybody has their own perspective, and I get that. Whatever works for me works for you. But shout out to Ish too, because Ish is amazing. That's our sister, classmate, and she's killing it out there. So you guys make sure you pick up Ish's book. We'll put that in the description as well. Mud to Millions. That's a classic. So yeah, man. Listen, Justin, man, I just want to say thank you again, good brother, man. Thank you for your time. I know your time is valuable. Anything we could do to support you, man, we are here, and we're going to make sure that we put this to everyone. And make sure you follow Justin on social media. check out his classes, check out his mentorship program, and just, let him know that you heard his episode here on By the Hood, because he's doing amazing work. But again, you guys gotta go. If you do nothing else, make sure you go look at them before and afters on his IG, man. He out here killing it, man. Like I said, it's mad inspiring in terms of what he's doing in construction. That's also, you have a whole separate business, which is a powerful business. That construction piece, then you have your portfolio. So the way you're doing it is amazing, man. So congratulations on all your success, Jeff.
I appreciate you.
Man. So Corey, you got anything to say before we go out of here, good brother?
Nah, man. Congratulations. I like that. I like people that do the math. And so you did the math. You put lifestyle design in front of lifestyle, designer stuff, right? And so, like Jim said, I like those kind of people. Not that those other people, I dislike them, but lifestyle design to me is way more important than designer lifestyle. So
I like that. Lifestyle design is more important than designer lifestyle. Yeah. So yeah, lifestyle design. When you move, you work on your own time. You do what you want to do, but you still get the work done, and you still know how to get to it. So I think that's important, man. Yeah, man. So congratulations, man, and we'll definitely have you back in the future. But for the folks out there, please make sure to check out what Justin has going on. And just want to say thank you again, good brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. Y'all motivate me, inspire me as well.
Oh, man, appreciate that, bro, man. And for the folks listening, man, as we always say, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we shall see you guys on the next episode. Peace.